Good morning, everyone. I hope you were all doing well. We hosted a huge holiday crowd here last night, about 40 people, and I will share some scenes from that party with you in a future episode. This week, we are attending parties in other people's homes, and since I never arrive at a party empty-handed, today I'm going to make 3 delicious host and hostess gifts. I'm doing salted caramel sauce for my friend Tessa, and I will do Chex Party mix for my friends Paul and David, because I know they will love that mix. And I'm doing a hot cocoa mix for my dear friend Victoria. And besides the host and hostess gifts, I need to do a little cleanup from last night's party, just as soon as I have some coffee. So this salted caramel sauce is actually very easy to do. And all you need is sugar. That's 1 cup of sugar. I'm putting this in a heavy pot. And I will also need heavy cream, butter, and salt. And I'm going to melt the sugar on the stove top. So I'm setting the sugar over a medium flame, and as the sugar starts to melt, it will clump up, and I will just keep stirring it. So you will know what to expect here. The sugar will first clump up, and then eventually, as you continue to stir, the sugar will turn into an amber-colored liquid. Now, as I'm standing here stirring, I wanted to mention that salted caramel sauce is delicious on just about anything and everything. You could even add it to hot coffee. And it's wonderful on ice cream or poured over fresh berries. It's a multi-purpose sauce. I really like this spurtle for this job, because it allows me to get right to the edge of the pan. And you can see the sugar is really starting to melt now and beginning to color. But we still have a ways to go. And now that our sugar has turned liquid and an amber color, I'm going to beat in the butter. This is 6 tablespoons of butter. Now, if the sauce separates at all, just take a whisk to it. Now we can stir in a ½ cup of heavy cream, and get ready, there might be an explosion. A very minor explosion. And I'm going to stir this mixture as it bubbles for just 1 minute. And just like that, our caramel sauce is almost done. All I have to do is stir in 1 teaspoon of salt. I will link this recipe in the description below. Now, I should mention that my whole kitchen smells like a candy shop. I will let this sauce come to room temperature, and then we can transfer it to a jar. My salted caramel sauce has cooled enough that I can pour it into a jar. Look at this. Well, I think this jar was too large for this amount of caramel. It's only 1 cup of caramel, So let me see if I have a 1-cup jar. And indeed I do. I also spilled some of the caramel. Oh, it's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. That was enough to fill my gift jar, and there's enough left over for us to taste test. Oh my. Salted caramel is downright addicting. This is going to make a fantastic gift for my friend Tessa. And once this is cooled completely, I will put a leak-proof lid on it and pop it into the refrigerator until it is gift-giving time. And as for the remaining caramel, I will see you in a few minutes. So my friends Paul and David are having a holiday party this Saturday, and I am going to bring them a great big jar of Chex Party mix. If you've never tried Chex Party mix, well, it's been around since I think 1952, maybe even earlier. My mother made it a lot in the 1960s and 1970s. I'll have to ask her if she still makes it today. And the first thing we need is 6 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to put that in a roasting pan. And then my oven has preheated to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to melt the butter in the oven. So Chex Party Mix is a very savory, very crispy party food. It's also great for snacking. As I said, my mother used to make it all the time, and I always ate way too much of it. And I don't think I've had this since the 1970s. So it will be fun to see if I love it today as much as I loved it decades ago. And the ingredients are very simple. I have rice Chex, corn Chex, pretzels. That's my dog eating a pretzel. Wheat Chex, Worcester sauce, seasoned salt, and salted mixed nuts. And you could add other things too. If you were a child during the 1960s or 1970s, let me know if you enjoyed Chex Party Mix as much as I did. All right, the butter has melted, so now we can stir in 4 teaspoons of Worcester sauce. And 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt. I could have maybe melted the butter in a small bowl to make this easier to mix, but too late now. Now we need 2 cups of each of the Chex cereals. And if you wanted to make this gluten-free, you could use just the corn Chex and the rice Chex and omit the wheat Chex. That was the corn. This is the rice. And here comes the wheat. Now the original recipe did not call for miniature pretzels, but I'm adding them anyway, about a cup. And then we want about 3/4 of a cup of the mixed salted nuts. What's in here? We have peanuts, almonds, cashews, Brazil nuts, and pecans, or pecans. And you could use just one kind of nut, or any mixture you like. Or you could omit the nuts entirely. And I'm just stirring everything really well so all of the pieces are coated. Now, I think this makes 6 3/4 cups or thereabouts of the party mix. I want even more than that, so I'm going to do another half recipe that we can add to this big roasting pan. What I meant to say here is that I would double the recipe, and I'm so glad I did. Now, Lizette is here. She has never tried the original Chex Party mix, such as I am making. She's had a sweet version, and did you like the sweet version?
It was super yummy.
And what was it called?
Reindeer chow.
Reindeer Chow. I love that title. I've never had a sweet version of this mix, but I'm very eager for Lizette to try the original version. And I'm very glad that I doubled the recipe. And now this goes into the preheated 250-degree oven for 45 minutes to 1 hour. And I will give this mix a stir every 15 minutes. I wish you could smell my kitchen. This is the perfume of my teenage years. And now we need to transfer this Chex Party mix to paper towel lined trays to let it cool. I will link this recipe in the description box below. So I am guessing that Paul and David will serve this party mix to guests at their party on Saturday. But of course, Chex Party mix is great when you're watching a football game, which I never do, or when you're watching, I don't know, a series on TV, or just hanging out. I'm going to need another baking tray. Do this the easy way. This is still hot, but I want to try maybe a pretzel. The butter and Worcester sauce and seasoned salt really transforms these very basic ingredients into something downright phenomenal. And I'm going to let these cool. Meantime, we can make the hot cocoa mix. Now, you all know that I have made regular hot cocoa from an actual chocolate bar, but what gave me the idea to make the hot cocoa mix for Vicky is because lately when we've gone out to dinner, she has ordered hot chocolate, which comes from a mix. I think it's Swiss Miss or something like that. So this will be a higher quality Swiss Miss. So I need 2 cups of non-fat dry milk. I bought this non-fat dry milk in bulk the last time you and I were together at the Mennonite General Store. And then what do I need? Confectioner's sugar. How much? 2 cups. Then I need 1 cup of baking cocoa. Baking cocoa is unsweetened. And I looked for the highest quality brand I could find, and it was this, because my supermarket doesn't carry many specialty items. I'm going to measure this 1/4 cup at a time because my full measuring cup will not fit in this little container. I just saw that I was supposed to sift all of these ingredients. Too late now. Although if it looks really clumpy, I can always sift it after. And I need 1/8 teaspoon of salt, which is about this much. And the salt is to balance out the sweetness of the confectioner's sugar. And let's give this a whisk and then see if indeed we need to sift it. It's a little bit clumpy, so I will go ahead and sift. This mixture looks just fantastic. It smells wonderful too. Give this a little mix. Oh, looks beautiful. I suspect you could put miniature marshmallows in here too, but my recipe doesn't call for them. I'm going to clean up a little here, and then we can jar this up. We may even sample some. I need my funnel. I have 4 cups or an entire quart here, and I have approximately 1 cup left over. Screw top, leak-proof screw on top, so the jar and the leak-proof lid will be part of the gift. So to turn this into hot homemade cocoa, you simply dissolve 5 tablespoons of the powder in 1 cup of boiling water. And we're going to do that shortly. I need to do some cleaning first. And we're going to try to make everything we made today look like gifts. Now I'm putting the Chex Party mix for Paul and David in this gallon size jar. Fit a little more in here. And there we are. I have plenty left over that I can enjoy with friends. I'm really glad that I doubled the recipe. I need a lid for the caramel sauce, which again smells just terrific. For Tessa, please enjoy this homemade salted caramel sauce. xKLJ. Paul and David, homemade Chex Party mix for you. Vicky, I hope you love this homemade hot cocoa, mix. And I need to say 5 tablespoons mix, 1 cup boiling water. xKLJ. If you are invited to a holiday party and you wish to bring a host or hostess gift, I can highly recommend either the hot cocoa or the salted caramel sauce or the Chex Party mix or the homemade granola, which you and I made together in a previous episode. I, for one, would be very happy to receive one of these gifts as a host gift. And now, we need to do some vacuuming. And afterwards, we can light a fire and enjoy some of the leftover hot cocoa mix. During last night's party, a lot of snow and salt was tracked into my home. Today, I need to vacuum and mop the entrance hall, the parlor, and the dining room. And on to the dining room. I served finger food here during our party. Needless to say, there are lots of crumbs on the carpet here. As you can see, my dog Avery is happily helping me to vacuum the dining room carpet. If you have a cordless stick vacuum that you really love and recommend, I hope you will tell me the name of the vacuum in the description below. I'm in the market to buy one. It feels great to have those floors vacuumed and mopped, and also to have those chairs returned to their rightful positions. And now we're going to have some of the hot cocoa mix from my own personal stash. So it's 5 tablespoons of the cocoa mix to 1 cup of boiling water. It's dissolving beautifully. I think that's why we really needed to sift the mix. And if you're like me, you will do this. And for a very 1970s snack, I'm going to have some of the Chex Party mix and our hot cocoa. I can tell you that this Chex Party mix really crisped up as it cooled. Again, this is the taste of my youth. I feel younger already. Hot cocoa. This is very rich, very chocolatey. I highly recommend it. And I think Vicky will be very happy with this hot cocoa mix. Thank you so much for spending time with me today as we made the salted caramel sauce and the Chex Party mix and this hot cocoa mix, which all make terrific host or hostess gifts. In the next episode, I'm going to create a make-ahead Christmas dinner, and in the episode after that, I'm planning to do a holiday cocktail party. And I hope you will watch. And until then, please treat yourself very, very, very well. I hope you are having a great holiday season. Bye for now, friends. I'm going to finish my hot cocoa.